All right, everybody, welcome to Apex Training, powered by Trident Title and Performance Title and Escrow, members of the Landcastle Group. We appreciate you guys being on. Today, my goal is to help you add to your bottom line by using Facebook and Instagram ads. So as you can see in the picture, we got all different ways to add things up. My goal is really to break these two things down for you guys. Facebook ads have been around since 2007, and nerdy old me has been using them since 2007. And I've done pretty well because of them, and I've really had some successes. So I want to share with you and really kind of chop down your fears and really give you an idea of what to do. I know a lot of the times these ads can be overwhelming. They can be intimidating. There's tons of different styles and how to do them and what is each one for. So my goal today is you're going to be able to leave here understanding these things and be able to put something into motion, regardless of what your budget is, regardless of what your experience level is, regardless of what your goal is. We got a lot of different objectives here that will help people in all different parts of the business, and even in small businesses. So if you have a secondary business or a side business, some of these things will help you, not just in real estate as well. And then, like I said earlier, I'm very confident that these are going to work for you. I know they're going to work for you. And when you do, all I ask is that you send your deals to Performance Title and Trident Title as a win-win for doing this for you. So as you guys know, some of you, I always start off with my About Me, and I've been told this is the best one yet. So I still have that hat, and I actually rode that horse to get here today, and it still fits me, which is great. So for those of you that I do not know, my name's Ryan McHugh. I'm the founder at Apex Training, thanks to Trident Title and Performance Title and the Landcastle Group. So what we do is we have a bunch of title companies, and our goal, or my goal, is to add value to you guys through training. In exchange, we know that we're going to get some of that title business back if we are helping you grow your business. So for those of you that don't know me, I've been in real estate for 10 years now. I've been a single agent and did 14 or 15 deals a year. But my claim to fame really was hopping on a pretty big team and helping to grow that. We did 400 plus deals a year, multiple years in a row. Number 1 in the state of Florida, and number 11 in the entire country. Also as a team leader, and grew a bunch of real estate offices all through training. So now my goal is to help you guys and to help grow our title companies by helping our agents grow their businesses. So that is me, and that is us. So what we're going to do today, like I said, is all Facebook. And what I like to start out with is a little brief history lesson. If you do not know this, which I'm sure some of you do, but most of you probably don't, 2,800,000 BC. The first social networking officially begins. It started with just grunts, moans, and physical signs. And there were not that many products being advertised. Then, fast forward only 2.8 million years, and in 960 AD, the first known advertisement pops up. It happened to be in China, of course, because they make everything. And it was actually for a knitting shop, a local knitting shop. Now, fast forward again to 2020, and there's ads everywhere. If you guys have never walked through Times Square, it is just all ads. There's literally nothing besides ads. So we've had a big jump over the course of 2.86 million years, and here we are. The big thing, or really what I want to get across today, though, is Facebook and Instagram. So in 2004, Facebook launched. It was called The Facebook then. I'm not being paid by the movie The Social Network, but if you have ever seen that movie, or if you haven't seen that movie, it's actually pretty good. It really tells the story of how it built, and it's good. It's on Netflix now, too, so check it out. So 2004, Facebook gets off the ground. 2005, after swearing they were not going to do advertising, they did take on some advertising, and they picked Party Poker first. And if you don't know what Party Poker was or is, it's an internet gambling platform that allows people from all over the world to get together and play poker. And what they did was, in exchange for letting Party Poker put their ad on every single person's Facebook, there was a link to get onto Party Poker from every Facebook in 2005. They got $300 per person that signed up for Party Poker based on these ads. And that was what really launched the wealth of Facebook. As soon as that was seen to be successful, almost instantly, JP Morgan, which is Chase Bank, and JP Morgan's the investment arm, Microsoft, and Apple all jumped on board all within the first year because they saw the success of Party Poker. And just like that, Facebook ads were born. In 2007, these ads actually launched to the public. On the left side, you can see what Facebook looked like. And the first public, smaller company ad to get out there was Blockbuster. So if any of you guys remember that, obviously gone now. However, Blockbuster was the first small business, or smallish business at the time, to launch and take ads to the public. Then in 2012, Facebook buys Instagram. And this is relevant because now that Facebook owns Instagram, all of your ads, you actually have the ability to coordinate them between both platforms and sync them together seamlessly using the same marketing platform, which is awesome because the Facebook marketing platform is the strongest thing out there. It's the highest ability to target across any kind of marketing platform that there is. And between these two platforms, there's the most exposure compared to any other app or platform in the world. So pretty significant. In 2015, Instagram launched its own version of ads. And the first ad was for Ben & Jerry's, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you guys ever see those, but Publix, when they have the BOGO, I load up my freezer. You should too. 2018, all 11 forms of Facebook ads officially go live. So right now there's 11 current ways, and we're going to talk about them throughout the class today. A couple of stats on Facebook. Between Facebook and Instagram, there's 3.41 billion with a B people active every single month. More than half the world is active on one of the two every single month. 71% of America uses Facebook and or Instagram every single day. The average user goes to 11 ads per month. So there's opportunity to grab people. Average user, 11 ads they go on to per month. 94% of clicks come from mobile users. So when we're designing these things, we want to keep that in mind so that we can really gear up and be able to create something that's going to look good on mobile devices. The average price per ad went down at the end of 2019, 6%. They've been trending downward the last couple of years, getting cheaper and cheaper as there's more reach and the targeting gets better. However, if you compare this to things like Zillow, the average price of a Zillow ad has gone up every single year since Zillow came out. So when you look at this as a way to combat other platforms or other things, Facebook keeps getting cheaper, and all of the IDX-based home sites keep going up. So Facebook and Instagram is the way to go. Average cost per click on Facebook in the real estate category is $1.81. So $1.81 a lead across real estate. Insanely cheap, right? Compared to anything else that we've ever used, by far the cheapest. Facebook video views, there's an option for video ads, are the lowest cost per click. So when we talk about those later, keep that in mind. The people that have been using video are really doing well right now while things are kind of locked down and shut down. And they also happen to be the cost per lead that is the cheapest. So keep that in mind. So a couple reasons why I love Facebook and Instagram ads. For me personally, my largest sale ever, $2.4 million back a handful of years ago, came from a Facebook ad. I took this exact picture and I sent it up to Boston, New York, Connecticut, Philly, all while they were getting crushed by snowstorms and the cold, and just made an ad gearing all those people, high net worth individuals, and we got the deal out of that. So over $70,000 in commission from a Facebook ad. So that's one reason I obviously love them. Another thing is I've used them in a whole bunch of different industries for eBay, auto sales, motorcycle sales, title insurance, recruiting, the paintball business that I used to own, mortgages, and real estate itself. So they're friendly really across any industry. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is if you're on this call and you're in title and you're in mortgage, you're a broker, a recruiter, you have a side business or a side hustle, these can work for anything. They're not discriminate. You can use them for anything, and they'll reach anybody and anything. Personally, my average conversion rate when I was doing this for sales, I don't anymore for real estate, but when I was, my average rate was 126 leads per closed sale. Now that may sound like a lot, but when you look at the average price being under $2, you're looking at cost per customer of under $250. And usually in Palm Beach County, the average commission is around $9,000. So a pretty good return on investment. My personal cost per leads was about $2.46 across all different industries. The cheapest month I've ever had running ads, I've been testing these for some teams and some people that I work with. Last month in April, my average was 40 cents. That's not $40, 40 cents per lead from advertising a listing. I'm going to show you how to do that later. Most expensive month ever was for recruiting. So if there's any broker owners or team leaders or anybody like that on here, you can generate leads for that as well, but a much higher cost per lead because you're converting people instead of leads. Still cheaper than Zillow, however, right? So favorite movie ever, Ocean's 11. And now what we're going to do is bring in Zuck's 11. This is Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, and what he brings to the table for you guys for Facebook and Instagram are 11 different strategies on how we convert leads and how we generate leads and how we run ads. So what these are actually called, they call them objectives, that there are 11 different objectives for you. And I'm going to go through every one of these and explain them and help you understand which one is going to be relevant for your business, either right now or somewhere down the line. Now, I ask you, who are these guys? If you know who these guys are, type it in the chat. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. You can name all three of them. Tell me who they are. Put them in the chat. Ready, go. 30 seconds. Anybody know who they are? Can anybody see?
Roosevelt, Churchill, Mussolini.
There you
Stalin,
go.
Stalin, Truman, Churchill.
Stalin.
I've seen them coming in. 2 out of 3 are right. Churchill's right.
Stalin, Churchill, Roosevelt.
There you go. I think that's Bernstein, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Good job. All right, that is quiz number 1. Quiz number 2. Who are these guys? These are relevant, I promise. Who are these guys?
LeBron, Wade.
I knew Vinny Borrello.
Wade and LeBron.
Who is that?
Early.
The big 3, baby.
LeBron, Wade, Bosh.
I'm so happy somebody got them besides me. Yes, so these are all called the big 3. Both sets of these guys are called the big 3. And the reason that those are relevant is because Facebook also has a big 3. They might not be as powerful in the world as the original big 3, and they might not score as many points or light up the Miami Heat basketball courts quite like the newer big 3. However, these big 3 of Facebook are the ones that we use to make money, so they're a little bit more relevant and important to us. So Facebook's big 3 are your 3 top objectives and the 3 different ways that we actually generate leads. So if you haven't remuted yourself, just do me a favor and please remute, just so that I can, everybody can hear everyone. I'm going to try and mute everybody again. 1 sec. All right, there we go. So these are the big 3 that you want to pay attention to when we're talking Facebook ads, because these are what are going to generate you some business here. So number 1 is the awareness objectives. These are top of the funnel. What I want you to think is these ones, they're usually going to cost the least. They're going to be the cheapest leads, but they're at the highest end of the funnel. They're the furthest away from actually doing a transaction. Our goal here is just to generate some interest in what you have to offer and in your brand. Number 2 is the consideration objectives. These are more in the middle of the funnel. So these are people that have hopefully recognized your brand, what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to do. And they are also trying to start converting leads. These are, again, are in the middle of the funnel. We're going to use these to reach people who already have some interest in what we have to offer, and they're likely to engage or allow us to uncover some more information. Pretty much all of what we do in real estate is in number 2, actually. And then number 3, the conversion objectives. These are more towards the bottom of the funnel. These are when you want people to register or opt in for something, download something, visit an e-commerce store, which isn't really relevant to us, or actually visit a physical location. So we're going to talk about all these coming up here as well. And let me just try and mute everybody one more time. Okay, good. All right, onward. So this is just kind of the idea of the funnel. What I want you to think on the very bottom of the funnel is where your money comes in. On the top, this is where you're going to build your brand using the awareness objectives. These are going to be the cheapest. In the middle, the consideration objective. These are where we start getting leads. And then either one of 2 options. We either pull them off of Facebook at that point or Instagram and convert them ourselves, or we use the conversion objectives to actually convert them through the platform. Either one is fine, but at the bottom is where our money comes in. So the awareness objective, what I want you to think is this is where you're actually building your brand. There's a couple of examples that a couple of these are from some big companies, and a couple of these are from some of my friends and our clients at Trident and Performance. So these are options for building your brand, making people aware. If you've ever seen these McDonald's billboards in the city, they're pretty much everywhere. People know what McDonald's is and that it exists, but they're all over, just to remember that you're top of mind. The Times Square ones, as we said earlier, there's just options everywhere. Chick-fil-A, you're starting to see these pop up now, but most importantly in real estate, the Borrellos, who I know are on the call, this is an awareness objective. This is helping them build their brand, get likes on their page. And Echo Fine Properties is another group that we work with, and they use this just little videos to help you build and remember that brand name pretty regularly. So brand awareness, we're going to use this one if we want to get some more eyeballs on our brand. It's going to help you to get to the top of mind for people. It's very cheap. These are the absolute cheapest ones that are on here. Of everything we're going to go through, these will be the cheapest along with video views. These are not very likely to generate leads because there's not usually a call to action. There's not really any engagement. These are just designed to be as cheap as possible. It's going to help us figure out who is interested in our brand. So who looks at these things, who sees these things, so that we can kind of retarget and play with them later. It keeps you consistently in front of a targeted audience. So people use these and they'll allocate about 10% of their total ad budget and just let these ads run indefinitely to a targeted audience that we want to work with or that we want to start saturating and breaking into, so that the second time when we retarget them or when we use some of the other ads, they've already seen us, they've already heard about us, they already know our brand. This is really a long-term value, long-term kind of play. This is not something that you're going to run an ad today and you're going to get leads from today. This is if you're planning on being in this business for a long time and you want to get that brand out there, this is how you do it. Using these objectives are ways to start kind of tackling the people that have been in the business for 25 years, you know, and they've been sending postcards and selling houses forever. If you're new and people are seeing you every day, you can really start building that brand and becoming top of mind. One thing that's good about this is it makes conversion in these same target areas later much easier because people have seen the brand. My suggestion, if you're going to use brand awareness, is that you're going to commit to a minimum of 6 to 12 months if you're going to do it. If not, I just wouldn't do it, because if you're not going to commit long-term to this, you're not really going to see any results, and I don't want you to be disappointed. This is the broadest use of ads and also the cheapest use of ads. And this is really good for cold audiences. So if you just want to dive into an audience or a target or a market or an area that you don't know, this is going to be the one that you're going to use. Next is reach. So the reach ad is when you want to use what we call frequency capping. And this is a great strategy inside of Facebook, because what happens is if we use the reach ad or the reach objective, we're picking how many people we want to reach. So let's say we want to reach 500 people in the Boynton Beach area. So we set up our filters to look for 500. And then what we get to do is use what we call the frequency cap and make sure that people don't just continuously keep seeing our ad over and over and over every day, so that our spend gets used on the same people. These reach ads and the reach objective is really important right now, especially when people are at home so much. Most people, not most people, but a lot of people that are on social media right now, they're just literally on their phone all day. They're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and hitting refresh and scroll and scroll and scroll. If you're using the brand awareness ad, your ad might run in front of that person 200 times in the same day if they refresh their feed 200 times a day. Where when you use the reach ads, you can cap the frequency, meaning maybe I'm advertising and I don't know, Brian Perry's in my group of people that I'm advertising to because he likes something that I'm advertising to. If I use the frequency cap, I can make it where he only sees it once a day or once every 3 days, so that he doesn't keep getting slammed with the same ad, and that all my dollars are not being spent on the same person that's just constantly looking at the same things. We want to use this objective for highly targeted groups. So this is when you really want to dive in and work a certain niche or a small area. So it's a small and valuable audience that we want to target. It's really good for warm audiences. So sometimes this is good for people that have already been on your site. It could be for past clients. It could be for people that live in a very, very, very small area or in a certain group or certain list of your database. So again, we're going to use this part in a little bit of a tighter audience than the last one that we just did. So next is the consideration objective, and this is the largest of the big three. And again, this is where we spend most of our time in real estate, is inside of this consideration one. I put get leads here because this really is the objective that we're going to use if we want to get leads. This is number 2 of my big three, or Facebook's big three. And this, again, is where we're going to spend our most time if we're trying to convert business. So here's a bunch of different ads. A lot of these people are even on the call. Tracy Ward, Diane Harbinson, Echo again, Home Sweet Home is Heather and Adrian. Hall Platinum Group I know is on. Home Source Team is Dan DeMott. Borriellos are on. Tracy Ward, I think we said. Silvers. A bunch of people that I saw some of these ads running, and I grabbed some of these, and I just wanted to show you guys some examples of what people are doing in all different ways to kind of convert some leads. We'll dive into these a little bit more here as we go through each strategy. So the traffic strategy, this is one that we're going to use this to get people from Facebook, but to get them actually off of Facebook. So we want to get them from Facebook out of here, which is very rare because a lot of sites are doing everything that they possibly can to keep you on. The traffic one kind of goes against that. We're going to use this for things that don't really require a sign in. People want to just click on this and they want to go and they want to watch something or they want to learn something very quickly. So if we're trying to drive traffic to our YouTube page, maybe a blog, an infographic, something like that, we're going to use this. Also, if we want to target them to other social channels. So if we want to get them off Facebook and on Instagram or Pinterest or TikTok or Snapchat or Twitter or anything else that you're using, we're going to use the traffic objective. What I always suggest that people do is they pick whatever their strongest social media platform is going to be, and they use everything else to kind of drive towards that. So if Facebook is your home base, great. If it's Instagram, great. Whatever one it is, We're going to use the traffic objective to take people from other places to where we want them to be. And where we want them to be is where we're going to spend the largest majority of our time. So if you're a YouTuber and you put a video up on there every single day, fantastic. Use this to draw there. If you're working the hyperlocal strategy and really building some blogs out, great. We're going to use this to get them there. Anything that gets people off Facebook, or you want to get people out of Facebook's platform or Instagram's platform, you're going to use this traffic one. So if you're creating your own website out there and every time you get a new listing, you're creating a landing page and you want to use that, you can do that as well. Engagement. So this one is used to generate engagement on posts, events. Some of you got to this event today actually through an engagement ad that I was running. We use this to get page likes, to get more offers, even things like likes or shares or comments or reactions. So the reason that we use this one compared to some of the other ones is because when we do actually use this one, it allows us to get people engaging on the posts and the things that we're doing right now. And that doesn't always work very well. So sometimes we post something or we create a video or we do something and we realize, oh my God, this didn't go that well, right? Or it didn't go exactly as planned. And then we realize that somewhere down the line we have a problem and we spent all this time on a post or being creative or doing something and we didn't actually generate anything. When that happens, I want you to use this engagement. If you did something that you know that there's some value in, use this engagement tool. You can do it for just a couple bucks. The one I ran for this class, it cost me $8. I did it for 24 hours. I started it over the weekend, did $8 and 800 people saw it. So nice and easy, and it helps bring people to things. So personally, what I used to use the engagement ones for were posts of things like just sold or just listed. So kind of like brag posts. Also for open houses, I would do an engagement one for every single open house you do, because for $5 or $10, you can get so many eyeballs on it. Nice and easy. It's nice and cheap. We're going to use this also down the line to build custom audiences. So when we use this, we can customize everyone into a list that engaged with us to be able to put them on another audience so that we can tag them later. And the best part of this, in my opinion, is when we do this just even once, just say we did it once a month and we spend $5 or $8 or $10, it's going to really add to our organic reach later down the line. Because what happens in Facebook's algorithm is if they see someone's liking or doing the little heart or doing that new hug reaction, or they're commenting or they're sharing or they're going to your event, if they're doing that, even if it's because of paid traffic, Facebook recognizes that and it shows them your stuff again, even if it's for free. So when we do this every once in a while into certain pools of audiences or even into our own friend group, it really helps us to add organic reach later down the line. So this is a great option for you if you're just starting out and you want to just start getting eyeballs. We're not going to generate tons of leads through this. However, what we're going to do is we're going to drive people to things like our events and our Facebook page, and if we're doing offers or anything like that. So engagement is a good one. All right, next. App installs. So app installs is really powerful because what this one does is exactly what it sounds like, right? It pushes people to install or engage with your app. So I know we have people from all different companies on here. However, all of us pretty much have some kind of a real estate app, whether it's Keller Williams, Remax, EXP, Illustrated, Century 21, Berkshire Hathaway, wherever you're from. Pretty much everybody has some kind of a real estate app that we want them installing and using on their phone, so we can use that for this. If you have any kind of a personal app or a company app that you work with, if you're a broker owner or a team leader or anything like that, we can use that. Agent apps we talked about, search apps, also apps for collaboration. So some of the apps that I like to use to collaborate and work with people, if you've ever used something like maybe Slack, that's an app to communicate with your team, or Telegram or things like that. Those are all powerful ones that if we want our people to download, we can use that. Also, it's great for using our title app. So if you want to brand out our title app and get that out to the world and let your homeowners and people start using it so that they can understand calculations and numbers, it's a great tool for FSBOs and all you mortgage guys and gals that are on the call. It's really great for you guys too to be able to push out your app so they're using your calculators, running the numbers on your app for refis and things like that. So if you have any kind of an app that you're using regularly that you want to push, we're going to use this one. All right, next, video views. So as we talked about earlier, the lowest cost per click, as Facebook absolutely loves video. Video, Facebook Live, and groups are the three big things in Facebook right now. So video views come up the cheapest and they get viewed and they get used, which is nice. So we use this to get more views, not necessarily more clicks or conversions here. We're trying to let the video do the heavy lifting. So Facebook actually really wants these videos to be 15 seconds or less. So it's going to be something real quick where you say who you are and have a quick call to action in here. So, hey, it's Ryan McHugh. I'm doing an open house here at 123 Main Street. Give me a call, 561-123-45678 to come by and check it out. Something nice and quick and easy, preferably with a nice background or something attractive going on in there, a nice house, a nice kitchen, a nice pool, a beach, whatever. We want to focus on these videos looking good. As weird as this sounds, 85% of the videos that are consumed on Facebook are actually watched without sound. So you want to make sure that you use things like subtitles. I'm not sure if Chris Cusimano's on here, but he does a great job with the subtitle videos. Barbara Oleska too has been doing them, and I've been seeing them pop up with all the subtitles, which is cool. So make sure you're focusing on sound off videos. If you don't want to edit the subtitles in, you can even use the YouTube editor and they will throw them on there for you. It's pretty cool. You want to make sure that you place your calls to action either early or in the middle of the video, because it is very rare that people get all the way through the video. So make sure you throw something in there with your phone number, or call me to access, or call me for showings, or stop by the open house, or whatever it is. But again, quick videos, just quick raw video. It doesn't have to be something hugely edited or high production value. Lead generation, to me, this is my favorite one. This is the one that captures data inside of Facebook, which I like. The default is that it's going to give you people's first name, last name, phone number, and email. Facebook auto-populates these categories with what they think is correct info. The good thing is that you will always have one thing that is correct, because inside of Facebook, what happens is that you do have to have one real piece of contact information for Facebook to work. So whether it's email or phone number, one of them is going to be real, which is good. Sometimes you'll get people that change the stuff and you end up with Mickey Mouse and 5555555, but their email is correct. So at least it's starting you off capturing those leads. This is almost always the most expensive of all your choices, because you're getting personal information, not just website clicks or landing page lands or video views or anything like that. So these are what's going to cost the most. This is the ad that I was actually referencing to you guys in my video that I sent out. So this is the one. Last weekend, 48 hours, this ad objective had got me 1,076 impressions. So it was on 1,076 different Facebooks, 931 unique people. So 931 people actually saw it. It actually generated 37 leads. So I got 37 sets of contact information, and it cost me a whopping $14.72. So that's an average of 40 cents per lead. For me, I use the placement in stories. Those of you that have been on some of my classes recently, I've been pushing the stories and the live things. I did one this morning actually for this class. If you're friends with me on Facebook or our training pages on Facebook, the stories are really working right now because they're short and sweet and they get viewed to the end. And if you look on the bottom right, people have the ability to swipe up. So I did all of my placements, every single placement of this. I only put them in stories and generated that kind of business. And I did it within 25 miles of where this property is. So this is the flip that I was working on. And we did it within 25 miles of there. So it was Delray. So I did 25 miles of Delray to get some really, really fantastic results out of that. All right, next is messages. This is another one in the consideration tab. So one of the most highly successful ad objectives, because this forces engagement right away. If you've never clicked on someone's message ad, there's a couple people even on the call. I know Tracy Ward was doing one that was really great that I probably owe you $2, Tracy, because I clicked on one because it was so good. And I think Nicole Warren's on here also, and I did one of hers too. So I owe you $2 as well, or maybe $1.20. I apologize. But what's really great about this is Facebook Messenger is the most popular messaging app in the world because it's not platform specific. So it doesn't matter if you have an Android or an iPhone or whatever other kind of phones are out there in the world now. You can use Facebook Messenger the same across all these platforms. So it becomes really popular, which is fantastic. And what these ads do is it drops you right into someone's messages or direct messages, or as the kids call it, it lets you slide in the DMs. And what this allows you to do right away is engage with someone. So if they click on this, it drops them into your messenger, and you can pre-program responses to say something to them. Hi, can I help you? Would you like to see a house? Are you curious what mortgage rates are? Are you a FSBO wondering what your title insurance is going to cost? And when they click on those, it spits out a response automatically that you build, and then they get to engage. So we get to engage them. It buys us some time to be able to get the notification and see and learn these, and it allows them to type and engage with us. So one of the problems that people usually have the most with new leads is that maybe they'll get 100 leads and think that's really great, but usually on average, only about 20% of them actually engage. This shows you immediately who's going to engage because they either type something or they don't. And if they type something, then you have something to answer, right? You have a way to respond or a way to get back to them through messages. So I really like the message apps and the message ads because I think these are really picking up steam. I would be using these if I were you because they pretty much force engagement, especially if you're someone who's active on Messenger or on social media where you can actually get on here and you're checking these things out every day. I would definitely make sure that you are using this and that you are paying attention to these because there is a ton of value in these and it really allows you to interact with people. More people will answer this messenger than they will text messages or than they will emails because they can see it in so many different ways, not only inside of the Facebook app, but there's also a specific messenger app. And some people use that solely for communication. They don't even give out their phone number anymore because you can actually call and text and email and do everything right through the messenger app. So I know I'm harping on this one a little bit, but I would definitely spend some time on here because there is a ton of value in this one and it really gives you the ability to connect with people. All right, the last of the big three, the last set here is conversion. So these are really the least popular option in real estate right now. The reason for that is because these are all forcing people to do something kind of inside the ad. And the reason that I don't think that they always don't work at a crazy high level is because number one of them is for e-commerce, right? So it's not relevant because we don't have online stores in real estate. But the other two, we're going to go over them, are for foot traffic and for actual conversion. And what this does is you have to have had some successful ads run before for this to work. So this is not your entry level spot. You're not going to hop on here and start just using these conversion ads. You actually have to have data from previous ads ran for Facebook to even allow you to use these so that they can optimize and make these things work. So we're going to talk about each one of these three in here as well. So first is the conversions option. This one is used to get people to sign up or opt into things. So this is to get them on your email drip or to sign up for your app or sign up for a listing appointment or sign up to get on your calendar or anything like that. For any effectiveness, at a minimum, you need 25 conversions per week. You won't even be allowed to launch one of these without 25 conversions per week. That means you've generated 25 leads or you've had 25 successful results per week to be able to allow this to work. That's just for it to work. For it to work and be efficient at all, you really need 100 plus per week. And most people are not doing that kind of engagement or traffic on Facebook, so they don't even go to this. You need more data on your ads for this to optimize. So the more and more you use ads, the more you can use this. And what's good with the conversions piece is that it does help you and it does work really well. What's bad is you need some experience and you need to do some to get to this. So nobody please go and start this first. Don't use this first or early in your ad career because you're just going to be disappointed or frustrated. So don't start with this. However, if you're more experienced or you get going on this, you absolutely can. Next is catalog sales. Again, not really big for us. It's used for e-commerce. It really needs a Facebook page set up as a as a business or as a store, and you need to have a product catalog and all these things. So unless you have some kind of a physical product to sell that's not a house or a mortgage or title insurance, I wouldn't use this. If you have a side hustle or something going on, you want to talk about it later, we can. But again, not really relevant. The store visit one is pretty unique. So this objective or this strategy was really designed for like retail boutique stores. This wasn't designed for the Macy's of the world. This is designed for, the little store on the corner of the downtown street that wants to go after people that are physically downtown right now and allow them to see, hey, I'm only 2 blocks away, walk on over here and you can buy this dress or sunscreen or food or whatever it is. So it's good for foot traffic if you do have a physical location that you work out of. What I think is interesting with this is, first of all, you need to have a business physical location in your page. So if you're with a brokerage or an office that has, a spot in somewhere that people could realistically walk, that may work. A lot of the smaller boutique offices do have traffic like that, in a downtown area or maybe at the first floor of a condo building or in a retail shopping center. But a lot of places don't. They're in medical space or their own buildings. So you need to have some kind of a physical location in the page. What's really cool about this is, in my opinion, this is the coolest targeting that Facebook has because it uses people's current physical location. So anyone that has their location settings on, which for most apps or GPS or things like that, you do need that. It uses that location to target people based on where their feet actually are, where their phone, actually is right now. So what is cool is you can spin this for open houses, or if you're working out of certain areas for an extended period of time. Now, if you're only going to be somewhere for an hour, it might not be the most effective use of your dollars. But if every day from 1 to 4, you do an open house at the same house, or you work out of the, Starbucks that's on whatever, Ocean Avenue, right by the beach, or a restaurant or a bar, you post up somewhere regularly to work and sit. This could be cool because you can drive in foot traffic. So if you're someone that does like new construction open houses, for instance, where you're at the same new construction development, every week or every couple of days for days and weeks and months on end, or you do certain open houses all the time, this could be a pretty cool one to do because it generates you foot traffic. And to me, back when I was doing open houses, foot traffic was always what we died for, right? We wanted to get that. And yes, I get right now we're doing all these things digitally. However, Friday of this week, if you didn't know, the MLS is allowing in-person showings and open houses and things again. So, this is going to come back to being relevant here pretty quickly, I think. So definitely try and pay attention to this one coming up. And just to kind of round this piece of this off, I want to give you some tips. So number one, before you really dive into any one of these 11, I really want you to consider what your goal is. Most people don't like Facebook ads or Instagram ads, or they struggle with them or don't see any success because they just hit boost and donate their money to Facebook. That is exactly what that button is. It's the donation button to Facebook. And Facebook doesn't need any money, I promise. So don't donate them to any money. But what I want you to really do is sit around and think for a little bit of what my goal is and go back and look at these. We'll release this video in the next day or two so you guys can go back. And also, if you need help, get in touch with your rep. Get in touch with Melissa Kidwell or Dave Ward or Gab Bryce or Tracy Sender or myself. And we'll be willing to talk about this with you and help you through this. And they can set something up for me to come to your office or help you out working on these. But you really need to consider your goal before you choose one of these and determine what it is that you want to do and then attack it strategically. The next tip is make sure you actually let Facebook's algorithm help you and work for you. I see tons of people all the time that run ads that think they're going to outsmart Facebook, and you're just not, period. Let their algorithm run for you. Let them place it where they want to place it. Unless you have a real specific strategy or you really know what you're doing with this, don't try to go against the grain here until you have some experience, because you're just not going to get the results that you want. Number 3 is give it time. So most people jump on and they start a Facebook ad on Saturday, and by Sunday they're not seeing results, so they're frustrated. That's not really exactly how it works. You want to have an optimal length, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Always do what they recommend. So if a lot of times in a post or in an event, even when I did the ad for this event, they gave me a suggestion for what to say, told me what to say, and I just used that. And for that, we generated over 100 people per dollar with the ability to see this, which was impressive. For me personally, testing this for years and years across different businesses, my optimal length for an ad would always include 2 full weekends. And what I mean by that is if you're going to start the ad today, don't just run it for 7 days. I want you to run it for a time period that's going to allow you to get 2 full weekends of traffic in here to be able to see what this ad is going to do. So if you were going to start an ad today, first of all, it almost absolutely never approves you right away. Facebook is a little bit quicker than some of the third-party programs, but it's rare that it's immediate. If you know what you're doing with Facebook and you have the correct copy and the amount of text and image and all that stuff, you can get it approved pretty quickly, but it's usually a little bit, sometimes up to a day. So let's just say it's starting tomorrow. If we run this ad for 3 days, it's over before the weekend, and the weekend is when the most amount of people have access to these things. So I like to let mine run at least 2 full weekends before I can really judge to see how it's doing well. 1 to 3 days is absolutely never enough of a sample size to see how you're doing. You might do really great in those 1 to 3 days, and you might do really terrible, and you're just not giving yourself a fair enough at that. You always want to do the split test. So Facebook will ask you every time you run an ad, you want to run an A/B test. And what that means is you take the same ad and you tweak one little thing, either the copy or an image or some little piece, to be able to actually test things against one or the other. So you always want to do that. If you don't want to use Facebook split tests, do them yourself. Just change the image or a couple words in the text and see how one compares against the other one. Next is you want to start small. You always need to be improving on your ads until you're really generating results that you like, and then you scale. Don't just jump in here and because you have a chunk of money or got a stimulus check and you want to spend it, don't just go in and dump all this money in one time. For me personally, I always tell people I'd rather you spend $100 across 5 ads and do 5 ads for $20 each than $100 on one ad. Because if that $100 ad works great, yeah, you're going to do really well, but there's also a chance that it just falls flat on its face and then you just lit $100 on fire. I'd rather you run 5 at $20, see what works really well, and then learn and scale. There really is no magic pill here. So I could create an ad for myself and target it one way and then do it for you. And it might be good. It might not be. There are definitely some guidelines and some things that we look for that we've shared throughout this class. However, you're going to get better over time. So if you're going to do this, plan to make it something that you're in for the long run. Every one of these leads that you're going to get, they're cheaper than Zillow, right? And they allow you to retain the data, the leads. So just think of that the next time you're deciding between Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, all these sites that are charging you between hundreds and thousands of dollars per lead. Remember how cheap and easy it is to use these. Just get out there and give it a shot. And I think you're really going to be happy with your results and probably do better than you expected on your first shot as well. So just kind of in summary, Zuck's 11 here, the big 3: awareness, consideration, and conversion. We have the brand awareness and the reach that we talked about using to just make people aware of your brand, not really for generating leads. We have the consideration section where we have traffic, engagement, app installs, video views, lead generation, and messages. This is most commonly what we're going to use in the real estate, mortgage, and title business, and this is where we're going to generate the most number of leads. And then we have the conversion objective, the last of the 3, for conversions, e-com sales, and store traffic. So we kind of went over some ways to use that. If you guys have not joined the Instagram challenge yet from the last week or the last call, I am still allowing people in. So if you want to jump into that, my goal is to help you guys grow followers and grow content and be able to actually grow your Instagram. So if you're not using Instagram at a high level, what you need to do is, number 1, submit a screenshot of your Instagram page with the number of followers. Send it to my email. So it's ryan.mchugh@title-management.com. It's also on the Facebook page and all those different spots so that you can check it out. And then number 2, just log on to our Facebook account every day and we give you a different tip. And by the end of the month, what we're going to do is you're going to resubmit how many followers you have so that we know what you ended with. And then we're going to announce 2 winners. And basically the one winner is going to be the one that ends with the total largest number of followers. And the second winner is going to be the one that has the biggest growth. So whoever grew by the largest number of followers, all inside of the month of May. These are the people that have joined so far as of yesterday: Iris McDonald, Dar Goldberg, Linda Brennan, Becky Urbina, Sam Friedman, Bianca Malone, the Borriello Gang, Allison Melvin, Lucy Lopez, myself. I built a test one just to mess around and have some fun with you guys. Renee, Sherry, TJ, and Denise. A couple people emailed me this morning, so you didn't make the list yet because we did these slides over the weekend. But if you want to still hop in, there definitely is still time, and I will allow you guys to get in. If you haven't already connected with us, make sure you hop on to learn from us at Apex Training. We have a Facebook page and a YouTube page. Please hop on there, follow both of those, like both of those. That's where we post all of our content, some of the videos of the stuff that we've done in the past, and all different things to help you grow your business. If you haven't already, we talked about this earlier, but please connect with your reps. So Dave Ward, Gabrielle Bryce, Melissa Kidwell, Tracy Sender. If you got anything out of this, if you learned something out of this, connect with any of them or myself, and please send us some deals. We're now over 2 months. We've done over 15 live trainings, and these are all free to you guys to help you build your business. So all we ask in exchange is that you send us some title deals. If there was something that you wanted to get some more clarity on today, or you wanted to maybe bring this training into your office or anything like that, get in touch with myself or any of your reps and we'll make it happen. We can set up one-on-ones for you to help you through some of this. We're willing to do what we need to do to help you guys out so that we can get some deals out of it and you can get some deals out of it. So let me know what we need to do to work together for things like that. And last but not least, my friends, may the 4th be with you. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to end the recording and I'll hang in for a couple minutes for questions if you need anything. Hope to see you all soon and have a fantastic Star Wars day.
Thanks, Ryan.